Hello and welcome back to another exciting week of home learning, extended learning, distant learning. I don't know, all these different names. Pick a term. A lot of you have been doing really good about getting your work in. I really appreciate that. Hopefully, it hasn't been too difficult. Let me know if you have any questions, as always. I know there was a mix up on Aries with some of the worksheets. They mixed up like 3 weeks worth of stuff. It was crazy. I went in, wiped it all out, recreated everything. So hopefully it's all straightened up now. And it will continue to stay that way for the next couple weeks because we only have like 2.5 weeks left. And then who knows what next year is going to be like? Nobody knows. Nobody has a clue yet. So we are going to start today talking about combining like terms. You've worked with integers. You did the adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, order of operations. You worked with all of your integers. So now we're going to take that and apply it to algebraic stuff. When we're talking about like terms, when we are combining like terms, the definition of a like term or like terms are two or more terms that have the same variable or variables, because they can have more than one, or are constants. So what we have to do is we're going to look for matches. This is basically like you dumping out your piggy bank. I've used that example with you guys a lot. And you have to find all the dimes and put them together, and all the nickels and put them together. You got to find everything that matches and put it together. Right? If you're trying to figure out which card is missing out of a deck of cards, well, the first thing you do is get them in order. Right? You put all your clubs, your spades, your hearts, and your diamonds in different groups. You combine those like shapes, those like suits together, and then figure it out from there. Same exact thing's happening here. We are going to have integers, so you do have to watch yourself on that, but it's not that hard of a thing, really. What we're talking about is taking a problem, and let's do 4x minus 3 minus 2x plus 9. And I will once again encourage you to make life easy on yourself so that you don't mess up the signs, and draw those boxes. Separate each term. You truly have no idea how much easier this makes life. I did this with the 8th graders in the algebra class, and they thought it was a big help. It's going to help you next year in 8th grade also. So what you can do is, remember, before every symbol, here's a negative symbol, I want to draw a line. That's where my box starts. Here's another symbol, addition or subtraction, I put a symbol, or I put a line. Here's an addition, I draw a line. Notice the problem no longer says 4x minus 3 minus 2x plus 9. That's not how I want you to read it. I want you to read it as a list. Here's a positive 4x, here's a negative 3, here's a negative 2x, and here's a positive 9. Those are the 4 terms that we have to deal with. Now again, looking at our instructions, our rules up here, 2 or more terms that have the same variable. Notice the x here. This has an x. This has an x. Those are like terms. I'm allowed to put those together. I'm allowed to put my 4x and my negative 2x together. Combine them. Well, knowing the rules that we've used, they are different signs. Right? This is a positive 4 and a negative 2. When they are different, we subtract. So 4 take away 2 is 2. And the bigger number keeps its sign. That's a positive. There were more positives. So this makes 2x. Well, this is a constant. This is also a constant. So I can put those two terms together. So I can put my -3 and my +9 together. They are different signs, just like up above here. I'm going to subtract. There were more positives, so I get a +6. 9, take away 3 is 6. They're more positive, so it's a positive. All we have to do now is put those two together. 2x and a +6. That is our combined list of terms. They cannot go together. I can't do anything else with this. I have to stop. This does not have an x. It's not the same as this. Okay, you have to know when to quit. Okay, it's like 2 dimes and 6 pennies. Okay, the dimes stay together, the pennies stay together. We keep them separate from each other. Okay, that's really what you're doing with this stuff this week, is you're going through problems, and if there is a partnership, if there is like terms, you put them together. Notice I keep using the word if. That's because it is not a guarantee. 3x minus 2 plus 7x. So, boom, I'm going to draw my box real quick here. I don't want to see subtraction, addition. I want to see a -9y, a +3x, a -2, and a +7x. I see 4 terms there. Now I look for any matches. Well, start however you want to go through them, sift through them. This is a 9, this has a y. There's no other y's. There's nothing else that can go with this. So really, at that point, I can just bring it straight down here because I know it's going to be part of my answer. This one has an x. Well, this one also has an x. That means I'm allowed to put those together. I'm allowed to put 3x and a 7x. They're both positive. Since they're both positive, I'm allowed to add them, and I get 10x. Positive 10x. So I'm going to put down here a positive 10x. And then here is my constant. No other constants. Everything else has a variable. Remember, a constant is a number with no variable. And since he doesn't have any friends, just like that 9 at the beginning, I'm just going to bring him down here. And this is our final expression. These are our dimes. These are our quarters. These are our pennies. They all stay separate. They all cannot be mixed together. We got to keep them in their own separate piles. Okay, so what you're doing today, no multiplication, no division. All you're doing is going through with each problem. It's pretty quick. It's really going to test your ability to make sure you know what the difference is, if they are the same or if they're different, on what to do. Okay, if they're the same sign, you add and keep the sign. If they're different, you subtract and the bigger number wins. Okay, so walk through these things. Take your time on them. Remember, I've changed it. For those of you struggling with time, I understand some of your other classes are getting pretty heavy with work. If you just want to do the odds on each assignment, that's fine. I will take that. At this point, I'm going to be happy with anything I can get. So please keep up the hard work. Those of you who have been very diligent about getting your stuff done, I highly appreciate it. If you are struggling with printing, the worksheets are also being sent into the office, so you can pick them up there, a hard copy. If you're having a hard time uploading them to me, really, that should be the easiest. Take a picture of it with your phone and email it to me. If you're able to upload directly to Aries, great. That makes life even easier. But if you have no way to do any of that, then take it back to the school, give it to them, and they'll give it to me. It all works. So just one way or another, give me copies of this stuff. Show me the work that you're doing. Let me see some stuff other than just a final answer, so I know what you're doing here. If you have any questions, as always, please don't hesitate to ask. It's a real short day. I mean, this is it. That's all you're doing. You're looking for matches and you're putting them together. Okay, you're sorting out your coins after you dump out your piggy bank. So stay safe. I'll see you, I guess, next year at some point, whenever we end up back at school. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask again, and stay safe. I'll talk to you later.